This promises to be a really intriguing encounter. You can see there's a disparity in height because Hrvanis Bachkov, those four consecutive world championship medals came down at light welterweight. Best in the continent, having claimed 2 European golds in 2017 and 2022. Competing up at welterweight for the first time, and he's facing off against the sharp-shooting southpaw, the shaven-headed #6 seed, Yevgeny Koul of Russia. Bachkov of Armenia wearing blue, tucking up behind that familiar high-held guard, and we've got completely contrasting statures and styles, demonstrating the sweet science of boxing here at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Center. The compact, muscular figure of Hrvanis Bachkov looking to creep his way forwards. The sharp-shooting, dynamic, loose-limbed southpaw Yevgeny Koul wearing red. Can Bachkov quicken his feet enough to close the gap? That is his hallmark, and now he's looking to get his man where he wants him. Lands a shot to the hip of Koul. That illegal, of course, but body punchers will often let their shots go around the hips of opponents to try and slow down their fleet-footed movement. That's what Koul is demonstrating so far. Wonderful lead right jab, just jolting the head backwards of Hrvanis Bachkov. He's desperately trying to quicken his feet, but hasn't yet closed the gap consistently enough or for long enough to unload his own offense. There's a single right hand to the body from Bachkov. Good left hook downstairs from the southpaw in red. And did you see how defensively responsible Koul was, just moving those elbows around his torso to ward off the incoming fire, and using that lead right hand beautifully, taking the power off it, but he's snapping it out from near the edge of its range to just keep it in the face of Bachkov in a bid to blind him and pile up the points as well. Good left hook to the body, and that is the shot that Koul has taken out 2 opponents inside the distance with here at Dubai 2025. But Bachkov, as tough as they come, because almost by definition as he gets through with a good right hand to the chest plate. If you're going to operate the way Bachkov does, you saw how effective his gloves and forearms were there. Good left hook to the body from Bachkov as he's beginning to get closer, and so far this is turning out to be a contest or a performance typical of Bachkov, because he's getting closer to Koul now, and he's shoveled in a couple of punches to the midsection. It's taken him 2.5 minutes practically to begin to get into distance, but he's doing so with a little more consistency after the twinkle-toed movement of Koul kept him out of harm's way for the first 2.5 minutes of the round. So the referee has called time as Koul gets the right bootstrap adjusted. He's receiving a bit of coaching from beyond the ropes, which he shouldn't be doing. And I can tell you that Bachkov's forehead just reddening a bit over on the right side, because even though he's got his gloves bracketing his head, the touching jabs of Koul have pushed those gloves into his skin, particularly in the first 2.5 minutes of the round. But here's Bachkov in his wheelhouse once again, looking to haul punches in just above the belt line, continuing to pursue his man as that right hand drives him back towards the neutral corner, and it's a strong conclusion to the round by Bachkov. Koul keeping his composure and flicking out feather-light shots. What an opening round. So we move into the second round. Yevgeny Koul, the tournament #6 seed, taking the opening round on a 3-2 split, but the 2 scores earned by Bachkov perhaps putting the momentum in his favor, if that's not an oxymoron, because he ended the round in really strong fashion. But the minute interval can see a boxer who's in shape, see their energy levels return back to optimal, and Koul is beginning the second round with the darting movement laterally left and right that he began the contest with. Now, from our estimation here ringside, it was about 2 minutes 20 when Bachkov began to get closer on a consistent basis. Both men going for hooks. Bachkov looking for the left hook upstairs. How long will Koul be able to keep this movement around the boxing ring going for. He takes a left hand over the top and a right hand to the body, just holding his feet and peppering his man with combination punches. Brilliant opening of Hovhannes Bachkov, but Bachkov remaining committed to his pursuit, and now he's got Kool against the ropes. Bit of a takedown move, unintentional, but we're at the halfway stage, and it's been a very dynamic and effective first half of the round for Yevgeny Kool. Boxing off the back foot as Bachkov slings in an overhand right, couldn't quite find a range with it, but he was right on the target with that right hand to the belt line. Kool claiming his man and preventing him from working. That's not a tactic we saw from him in the second round, and perhaps he was instructed to add that to his repertoire. As beautiful work to the body, that one demonstrably low, it doubled over Yevgeny Kool. He's back on his toes, flicking out a right jab, but continuing his unrelenting advance is Hovhannes Bachkov. But Kool doing a good job here, turning the tables, cuffing his man around the head, pivoting around the pocket, but then he got tagged by a single shot, and here comes Bachkov once again. But look at Kool entwine arms and cling on desperately, resulting in him being taken down to the canvas. Clock-killing tactics though, because it forces the intervention of the ref, and that means Bachkov has got to reset and come again, but he's done exactly that, as the movements of Kool just slowing as it did at around the same point in the opening round. But Kool is doing a better job spoiling and preventing Bachkov from working, and that means that Bachkov has to begin his task to get inside all over again, and he's done exactly that. But look at Kool claim his man, tie him up to prevent him from working away. Bachkov living inside his jersey once again. Kool escapes laterally to his right, but Bachkov got his man where he wants him, and Kool looking to dig in body shots underneath. Kool wilting at the waist, below the belt line, that illegal of course. Different tactics adopted by the man in red.
Literally exactly the same, I think.
Yes, it is. And so from Yevgeny Kool's perspective, by taking the first round 3-2, the second round 3-2, the distribution of scores is identical, because sometimes when that happens, 3-2 scores the same way, the distribution of scores can give us 19 scorecards to make things interesting. But the way the scores have been tallied, we have 20 points to 18, 3 times for Yevgeny Kool, the number 6 seed wearing red, and 2 scores of 20-18 for Bachkov. That means Bachkov needs a massive final round to overturn the 20 points to 18 deficit that he faces for the majority of the judges. And Kool did an outstanding job darting around the ring for over 2 minutes of the second round, and then when his feet did begin to slow, he did a much better job in the second of spoiling and preventing Bachkov from working. Now Bachkov, this is where he wants to be, lets his hands go, Kool disengages, but retreats to the ropes and comes square on to invite pressure. He's trying to bob and weave and evade some of these punches, but Bachkov will just perform as though he's trying to chop down a tree. But from his perspective, as Kool with a little burst of shoe shine punches, he hasn't got much time left in which to chop the tree down, because he's got that massive deficit to overcome. He's a power puncher, but he's more of an attritional puncher, not necessarily known for taking out opponents inside the distance with single shots, but he can take them down with his unrelenting pressure. Kool looking to keep him honest by throwing punches on the inside. Bachkov trying to bob and weave his way into short range, but look at Kool attempt to tie the man up and then work with him, not presenting a space for Bachkov to find a home for his punches. So Kool just creating a little bit of a gap, happy to go toe-to-toe, shoulder-to-shoulder, and Bachkov running out of time in which to take his man out here. And Kool, look at the manner in which he's breathing through a wide open mouth, but remember the prize that awaits a victor the victor here is progression through to the gold medal bout, where the world number one Muijin Kajayev awaits. Good right hand slung into the body. Cole pushing his man off to create a space, and now Cole looking to test the body of Bachkov, looking to back Bachkov up, and that is a rare sight in an IBA style tournament. He's not necessarily being effective with his aggression, but he's pushing Bachkov back to take some of the pop off his punches. On the 10-second clap, with Bachkov back onto the front foot once again, only to be fed another southpaw right jab. Well, that is a terrific contest. Absolute fire and ice in the manner in which that was contested. And I think it's in the presence of Denis Lebedev, former cruiserweight world champion, kingpin up in the stands. It's going to be this man, his compatriot, Evgeny Kool, going through to the gold medal bout, because he boxed really smartly. He had to show plenty there of toughness and tenacity to deal with this man's unremitting pressure.
This bout was subject to a bout review. For your winner by split decision, in the red corner representing Russia, Evgeny Kool.